CodeSpring version 2 is almost ready to be launched, and in this video I wanted to give you a bit more of an up-to-date demonstration on where we're currently at in the development timeline, some of the new features that we're going to have, and I want to introduce you to our Black Friday offer where you can actually get CodeSpring version 2, all of the enterprise features that I'm going to show you throughout this video for no extra cost when you buy version 1 today. So if you want to learn more about that and the Black Friday offer, watch this entire video. It's going to be boring, but there's going to be a lot of information packed into it. So if you're a business owner and you're building a software for your agency, or you're selling a course and you're trying to transition into software, or you're somebody who's trying to build an app with AI and you've got stuck at 70%, you've hit a brick wall and you're not able to get your app finished. Alternatively, you're looking to hire a developer and you want a way of managing an entire team around the app that you're building. This tool will solve all of those problems for you. I think the easiest way of doing this is getting started with a brand new project. Now, this is a development preview. You're probably going to see a couple of little issues as we go through. These are all going to be ironed out by the time we launch version 2. So let's say, for example, I want to build a simple note taker app that allows me to take notes on how my business works and invite different team members into my software. We are currently using CodeSpring Orchestrator, and this is essentially just an AI agent which can build our plan for us, and it can help us design what our project is going to look like. Now, in our previous version, we had a lot of you guys asking us whether it can analyze existing code bases, whether it can help you build an app for iOS, for example, or if you're currently building a project, whether you can actually build a mind map and you can move from Replit to Cursor with that project, for example. All of these things are now possible with version 2 because version 2 can actually scan an existing code base. All you need to do is have it linked to a GitHub, and at the moment you have to use Cursor to build your mind map. That is a limitation purely put onto us by platforms like Lovable, which don't allow us to integrate with them just yet. Hopefully in the future they will do. Orchestrator comes with a whole host of tools. We have access to search the web. So for example, you can see here CodeSpring is actually helping us define what's going to happen for our app. Let's say, yes, this is great. And let's just say also, I'd love to be able to generate images from AI prompts as well. Not that that's got anything to do with this app that we've been trying to build, but I'm going to use it to demonstrate a point of some of the new features that you get with inside CodeSpring. So it says here, why is this important to you right now? So we're just going to say faster onboarding and makes it easier for us to keep track of some of the things we're working on inside our business, like SOPs. We can send that through. And you can see here, CodeSpring is actually using quite a powerful orchestrator, and we're tracking the credits. So you can see how many credits you're using as you're going through. On average, we're going to work it out so you can actually build multiple projects per month with inside CodeSpring, and especially if you grab the Black Friday offer as well. So you can see how we can start to essentially give context to the orchestrator of what we're trying to build. Now, the other thing is you'll notice as we start to use the orchestrator more, it starts to cache this information, and it means it actually runs quicker as we're building. We are working on increasing the speed, decreasing how long it takes and making it faster. But a lot of this is limited by how fast and powerful the language models are that we're using for this. Cool. So one of the really cool features about version 2 is it gives us the opportunity to select options rather than just constantly write reams of text. It's designed to build up our project bit by bit and give us a lot of fine-tuned controls. So let's see what it's asking here. Which objectives are most important to you? So faster onboarding, centralizing SOPs, and powerful search across all notes would probably be quite cool. Also, collaboration and on documentation. And this is one thing I see a lot of people using inside version 1 is they're trying to build complicated apps for their business, which involves inviting users and teams. You can see here, because of the initial prompt that I gave it, version 2 is figuring out, well, actually, if we're going to have collaboration across documentation, it's going to make sure that we build things up properly from the ground up. So target audience, this is going to help us with marketing. So we're going to go for founders here, and we'll just go with that. If you're somebody who is looking to figure out whether your app is worth building, so you can design your app and then you can do market research on that. Or if you have existing market research, we are going to add in the ability so you can upload existing market research to this. Whether this will come out in the first launch of version 2 or in the future, I'm not quite sure. But it basically means if you're designing a really complicated project from the ground up, obviously this is just building from scratch, we have the ability to extract and analyze your existing code base, and I'll probably do a video on that in the future. But if you're building from the ground up, you can start to see here, actually, who is it we're targeting? What are the features we're trying to build? Not only is it helping you figure out exactly what products you're trying to build, but it's also going to design out the entire plan for how to build this whole thing. It's honestly a massive update. We've put a huge amount of money and time into this development, and I'm really excited to share all of this with you guys. Okay, so here it says, which features would you like to add? So we're going to start with notes and categories. I think that's actually, let's start with team invitation and roles. That's probably the first one that's the most important to get started with. You can see here it's actually added in goals now. So this is actually part of marketing. And one thing I'm thinking of, and let me know if you have any ideas for version 2, please do email us or leave them in the comments. You can email us at support@codespring.app. Let us know any ideas of features you would like to see inside this. So, okay, team invitations and roles. Which roles do you need? Okay, well, we need admin, we need somebody to be able to edit it, and also a viewer. I don't think we actually need custom roles just now. We're going to start off with 3 basic roles. We would also like to do email invitations, and this is a high priority feature. But it's really giving us incredible fine-tuned control. And what we wanted from version 2 was to help you build things up properly. Because a lot of the time, if you want to build a feature like team or invitations, you can just go in and just say, I want team invitations, and then just start building. And if you don't define things properly to start off with, you're going to have massive errors. So just like that, you can see it's added in a feature for us, which is team invitations. I'm just going to move goals down here. Which feature would you like to define next? So let's do AI, let's do notes and categories next. Let's see what it comes up with. And then we'll do the AI image generation, because I want to show you a really cool feature that CodeSpring can do. And the agent is figuring all this out for us. So we're not having to do anything ourselves. We are just letting it figure out, well, based on what their plan is, and what their features are, what's the best way of building this? And then it's going to go ahead and ask us what tech stack as well. And this is really powerful. I'll show you this in a second. We've got this add one to context. So if I just click on this, we can actually click on some feature and we can actually tag that inside our chat as well, which is really exciting. So I'm just going to save the updates so far. It says here, which editing capabilities do you need? Well, we want rich text formatting, image and file attachments, SOP templates would be useful, and also version history. So we can really start to add in a lot of complicated things here. Now you can, if you want, stop the chat. You could go in and you could add, a little bit of extra context if you want. But you can see it's getting this it's almost perfect. How should you organize your work? Folders, I think. How important is it to build this feature? I would say is also fairly high priority as well. One thing I would say is, and we're going to probably fine tune this a little bit more, we want to make sure that you're not overdoing it. If you're building a massive project, for example, there's a when you're starting off, you should probably build something a little bit smaller, a little bit more relaxed, instead of just going in, building an incredibly huge project. And that's what we're trying to do here, is sort of a bit of control, but make sure you're not overdoing it. So you can see here we've got 2 features now. We've got team invitations, notes and categories. Now let's just work on AI image generation. So this is going to be a weird one, but you'll see what I'm saying and why I'm doing this in a second. So image generation, where should users be able to access this? I think inside the note editor, because it'd be quite useful if you could create diagrams inside your notes, for example. That's what I'm thinking this could be a useful feature for this app. AI image generation, what should happen? They should be inserted into the current note. Look at that, it's just figured this stuff out for us. It's basically alive, it's sentient. So insert into the current note, I think, and this is going to be a medium priority feature. And you can see it's taking the information that we're planning here and it's actually putting it inside the notes. So we've got email invites, we've got admin editor viewer with role-based permissions. We've got rich text editor with image files, SOP templates, version history. And also it's going to now go ahead and add the feature that we've just described here. So Orchestrator is something that I've been wanting for a very long time. And it's something that I think is going to give you a lot more fine-tuned control. And I don't know, you can decide for yourself. What do you think of this so far? Let us know down below in the comments. So bam, just like that, it's added image generation. So it's asking us what features we should add next. I'm just going to stop the chat here and we're going to move forward with planning out the next thing, which is probably going to be tech stack. So for example, let's just move forward. We're going to build this as a web application. How do we actually get started? I'm happy with these 3 features for now. Sometimes you'll see it's really, really quick, sometimes a little bit longer, and that's just because it's taking a little bit more time to decide what to do. And we want to make sure if we're building up our idea, we're building it up properly. I mean, we've been sat here now for, I'm guessing, 15, 20 minutes so far, and we're already getting quite far on our plan. So MVP features are locked in, and we're actually now giving you starter kits. And I'm really excited about these starter kits because depending on what you're building your app for, assuming we're starting from scratch here, I haven't even shown you the features for analyzing an app you've already built. We've got various different starter kits. So we've got the CodeSpring starter kit, Replit, Bolt.new, and Lovable. We are going to add in other starter kits, for example, building applications for WAP. So if you know about WAP applications, if you're building on Base 44, for example, each of these tools build up apps in various ways. So I'm going to use the production Saas mono repo. This is CodeSpring. We've designed this. It makes it really, really powerful and really easy to build web applications. We'll also add in an iOS starter kit as well. So you can see how this is not just a simple tool for planning out or writing down your features into a Google Doc. Okay, what we're trying to do here is we are not only planning exactly what features we're building and how everything goes together, we are designing the tech stack, and also CodeSpring remembers how everything interlinks. Okay, because it's when you're building a complicated product, everything must go together. in very specific ways, and there's a very specific order to how these things happen. Now, I'm going to take this moment while it's thinking to talk about MCP integration. If you're a beginner and you don't know what MCP integration is, don't worry about it too much. But if you are interested, essentially what this will mean is you can basically, and this is all just placeholder stuff at the moment, but we have this in version 1, but it's not very good. It basically means that something like Cursor or Claude Code or Codex or whatever tool you're using can actually read your mind map. For those of you guys who are a bit more beginner, what this basically means is it's an integration into any AI chat, right? So if you're using Cursor, which you would have to use this for what I'm going to say, it basically means you can basically give Cursor access to your mind map and to CodeSpring, and it can then read your plans, and CodeSpring can then go ahead and read your code base and build your mind map, which is really, really powerful. So it's asking us here, how do we want to do this? I'm going to use Clerk for authentication. You could use Supabase or I can't remember. And this is, we're going to change how we do the chat, so you can have basic, intermediate, and professional mode. So this would be probably professional mode. So you actually select the authentication service. For CodeSpring, the default is Clerk. That's why I selected Clerk. So we're going to tweak and test. I am cutting out the thinking time. So on average, we're looking at 30 seconds to 60 seconds for it to think and decide what the next thing it needs to do is. Because at the moment, it's not just saying, okay, let's just use that. It's saying, well, based on the features that we've currently planned, what are the best bits of tech that we could use? Okay, so we'll see what it comes up with. Just as I paused that, it came through. So it's a great choice. You can see this is the tech stack. So we've got front end, back end, database. We're going to use Postgres, authentication, Clerk. That's the example that it asked us. I'll talk to that in a second, because you can see here, where would you like to host your database? So I'm going to say we'd like to host our database inside Supabase, for example. And then again, earlier it asked us, we said, this is why I said, let's create an image generator, because CodeSpring's now gone ahead and it's researched the web and it said, based on this app, what's the best, or what options do we have available to us to create images? So rather than you telling it, it's saying, well, these are 3 options for you, pick one. So we've got Replicate, we've got OpenAI. So we're going to do, let's do Replicate, because it says we can access multiple community models. So we can probably, maybe there's a model out there that's really good for generating, diagrams for our app, for example. So here it said AI services to be determined. So I think, don't know whether that works in this latest version. I'm testing this. It's not out yet. That's why we're testing it. So OpenAI image stability, this should change to just to say Replicate, for example. A database is going to come up with hopefully Supabase on here as well. So we'll see how those changes come through. So you're building and you're changing, and you can also come in and you can edit these if you wanted to. So if it was wrong, obviously we've got some UI improvements to make. But that's basically, so Orchestrator is giving us the fine-tuned control that we need. I'm just going to save this update as well. Now imagine all of this in reverse. Now imagine you've built an app inside Lovable. If you link that Lovable app to GitHub, which is like a one-click integration, then we're going to have a course inside CodeSpring that shows you how to do this. But if you download Cursor, which is just use their free plan, integrate the CodeSpring MCP, and just go into Cursor with that entire code base, and you just say, can you build me a CodeSpring mind map? It will then go ahead and build the entire mind map for you. So you could build up this entire mind map based on what you've built, and it would figure out the tech that's actually currently in your code base. So here it says, would you like to use Supabase for storage for your images? I'm just going to say yes. So you can see here, AI image services, so we're going to use Replicate for image generation, so it's updated that. Storage is updated that, so we're going to be using Supabase for our storage. So it's, let me know what you think. Every time I use this development preview, I'm like, wow, this is going to be so powerful. It's a complicated tool. It's a complicated problem we're trying to solve, and we are trying to give you the ability to make it easier. I'm just going to make this a little bit more fun. Let's just put it on lo-fi mode, and let's play some lo-fi music in the background. Timelines, so we're going to get this done. This is quite a complicated app because we've got team mode, so I'm going to say 6 to 8 weeks. Do you want to split into delivery phases? I'm going to say yes, because I haven't tried this delivery phases. So what constraints do we have? And this is where, if you're a business owner, this becomes quite useful. So I have a tight budget, a limited engineering time, so I'm solo. No third-party services, security compliance, offline. I think that's probably fine for now. We're going to submit those, and it's going to help us. I think this will basically help us prioritize tasks, for example. I don't know, it's pretty cool. So once you've created this plan, you can actually generate requirement docs on how to actually build these specific features. Let's just do finalize and generate a checklist. And you can see it's how much it's figuring out based on what we're saying. And when we give it extra information, it takes that information and it just goes one step further, and it figures out the next steps for you. We're going to have other bits and pieces, other features as well. You can track your credit usage down here. So this has probably used about 700, 800, 900 credits to plan this out so far. We're going to try and make this a little bit more economical for you guys. But one of the easier ways of doing this, if you want to use less credits, is just collapse the conversational tool and plan out and design features yourself. Things like tech stack, I would definitely recommend using something like Orchestrator, just because it's going to figure things out better for you. It's put the timeline down here, which is quite cool. And this is going to be able to allow us to select tasks for Cursor, if you're building on Cursor, to be able to build these features for you. Want me to break the first feature into actionable tickets and add them to your mind map? Yes, let's do that. So which feature would you like to tackle first? Let's do team invitations and roles. I'm not even going to try and make this video optimized for the algorithm. I am just showing you what we've currently built so far. And if you guys are wondering, if you're current users of CodeSpring, you will automatically be updated. You'll have access to all of these new features. And for those of you guys who are watching and you're wondering whether or not CodeSpring is a useful tool for you, whether or not you can actually build an app with AI, the answer is I built the first version of CodeSpring myself. So the entire thing was built with AI. I then scaled that. Thank you to all of you for being early users, early adopters of CodeSpring. You've enabled me to turn it into this product, what it is now. And as a result, let's just say I'm done for now. As a result, we've been able to create an incredibly powerful product, and I now have a developer on to help me. So we're going to start moving a lot quicker. We're going to start building a lot more powerful features. All of this is because we have Harsh, the developer, on helping. And just to show you guys that you can actually build something with AI, you can launch your first product. CodeSpring was built with AI to start off with. The first 8 months of CodeSpring was just me vibe coding the entire thing. You guys stood by it, you used the product, and now as a result, we've been able to build something even cooler. We took it to last month, we did $60,000 with this product. I'm very open about how much money this product makes, and all of that is being reinvested into product and also support as well. So, it's definitely possible. Build something with AI, get users on it, start planning it and creating your first product, get it monetized, and then from there you can go ahead and you can start bringing on team members to help you scale it as well. So that's a rough breakdown of what we have in version 2 so far. You can see it's gone ahead and it's created a timeline for us, different to-do lists. Obviously, there's nothing in them right now. They're a little bit empty. There's a couple of bugs here and there. If you've seen in the previous demonstration, we can actually manually create things like product requirement docs. So you can see here, we could actually go ahead and we could say, well, we want to create a front-end requirement doc. Okay, this isn't actually functioning right now, but you can see this is just template stuff. We can build a back-end requirement doc, and we can also design what we want the database to look like for this specific feature. So the idea is we built up a full mind map of how our app goes together. There's a full understanding of the goals, the timeline, all of this stuff. And as a result, we can then go ahead and invite our team members. So if we have marketing team, I want to create the ability to swap between marketing view and product view. So you can see, if you're on the marketing team, you're not going to see, all of the back end products and stuff. You wouldn't be able to see the features really, but you could use it to look at, marketing. You could look at competitors, for example, and you can obviously add this to the context, and you can say, let's find some competitors for this app. Also, we haven't given it a name yet. We need to give it a name. So, I don't know, we'll just call this AI image note taker. What you can also do is you can actually add your GitHub as well. If you add your GitHub, that enables us to see, if you've launched your app live, and it also means it makes it easier for Orchestrator to find your product in your code base, so we can actually analyze it. So yeah, you can add your teams. So if you had like a front-end team and you had a back-end team and you're in the middle of that, at the moment in the core plan and in the Black Friday offer with the enterprise features, you're going to be able to add either 3 or 5. We're going to figure out the costs involved, and 3 or 5 team members into that product. Outside of Black Friday, you will get I think it would just be probably 1 additional team member, and then that's going to be sort of more enterprise features, so you can add multiple team members. There'll be obviously a monthly subscription cost to invite team members, but it will mean everybody has an overview of what's being worked on. Wow, there's a lot of different competitors we've got. And what's happened here is CodeSpring's actually gone ahead and it's searched the web. So it's looking at what these, obviously Notion is an obvious competitor for us. But the idea is we have one source of truth, one massive knowledge base for the product that we are building, and everybody can work in one space and see everything in one space. You won't be able to see live updates of everybody building on it, but you will be able to have everybody working on it in one place. So hopefully you guys are excited as I am for version 2. There's a lot of ideas that we have for the future for this product. If you would like to get early access to version 2, go ahead and get the Black Friday deal. It's the best option you have available to you. Usually, the full enterprise is going to start off with $995. You can get access to it for a full year. All of those features are going to be inside when you buy. So when you buy, you're going to get access to version 1. I'll show you what version 1 looks like. So you will notice when you use version 1, there will be a couple of bugs here and there, but this is basically what version 1 looks like. So you have it's the same mind mapping tool, right? If you're planning out a tool, there's no orchestrator. Okay, this is that doesn't exist. You can go ahead and you can add your own features. You can generate, requirement docs for specific features, and you can take notes on how you want features to work. We also have a full course inside version 1 at the moment. You're going to get access to all of this stuff. This is version 1, and then when version 2 comes out, one day you'll log in and version 2 will be updated. There'll be a full video tutorial with an onboarding that shows you exactly how version 2 works. You'll get access to all of those features at no extra cost. Go ahead, watch the demo on this website and have a look at it. We're collecting hundreds of testimonials now. This explains a little bit more about what you get. Hopefully, our goal is to launch this version 2 around November the 15th. Currently, we are on track for launch, and this is going to be like the early development preview, so people who are currently using it will be able to try it out, but it'll be by the end of this month. Definitely version 2 will be out, so I'm really excited for this update. If you have any ideas or new features you want to see, let me know down below in the comments. If you have any questions about whether this is going to help you, also let me know down in the comments. If you would like to grab it, go ahead, click the link down below. All you need to do is just fill out the form and then go ahead and claim that special offer for £249 for a full year. You guys are getting the better end of the bargain there, definitely. But hopefully you guys are going to really enjoy this product, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where we can take this. But all of this is possible because of you guys. So thank you so much for supporting CodeSpring, and hopefully version 2 doesn't disappoint.